Hello and welcome to today's Delta Credit Tip. So you pull up your bank account online and you realize that's not my balance. Where's all my money? Turns out one of your creditors, without your permission, has taken your money. How did this happen? When is it legal? Well, stay tuned. We'll fill you in on today's Delta Credit Tip. Hello and welcome back to today's Delta Credit Tip. So you pulled your checking account online and you realize I've got a negative balance, but I didn't spend the money. Turns out your creditor has reached in your account and yanked out all your money, didn't call you, didn't give you any kind of warning, just yanked it out. Didn't get your permission, now the money's gone. How can this happen? So we're gonna go over 3 legal ways they can do it, but if you stick to the end, we're gonna show you some ways that you can either offset it or prevent it. So just stay tuned near the end and hopefully this information will be helpful to you. If so, come on guys, give us those thumbs up. Don't forget, subscribe and hit the bell so that every Thursday when we come out with new information to help you in your credit restoration process, you get it as soon as we make it and it can help you right away. All right, so let's talk about this garnishment or this levying of your account where they're taking money out of your account without your permission. Okay, so there's 3 real ways that legally this can happen. The first way that you've got to be careful of is if you've been sued. Whether it was a default judgment or you actually lost after you went to court to fight, if you've lost the case and there's an active judgment against you, at that point the attorney can file a motion to go ahead and have the money garnished. Now, from state to state, it will vary as to how much they can take out of your account. Some states are half, some states are all, but you're going to want to check with your bank or with an attorney and figure out, well, how, not the attorney, of course, that's garnishing you, but another attorney that's representing potentially you. You want to make sure that you understand what that state law is to know to what extent they can garnish those funds. Okay, so that's the first way. You've been sued, you lost, now they can garnish your wages. The second way that your money can be taken out of your account, again, without provocation, without permission, and without notice, is through a government debt. So if you owe the IRS, if you owe student loans, if you owe Military Star, right, the credit card, all those are considered government debt. So if you owe the government money, student loans, IRS, whatever, they're just going to take the money and, you know, they don't have to ask you, they don't have to give you permission or get your permission. And the thing is that in both those situations with both the attorney or with the judgment and with the government debt, the bank can't tell you in advance. If they get the notification that they're going to garnish your wages or garnish your account or levy your account, they can't tell you in advance because that gives you the opportunity to take the money out before they can get the money. Okay, that's why they'll freeze the account and then a couple of days later they take the money out because that gives you the opportunity to fight it. We're going to talk about how you can fight it in just a minute. Okay, so if you again owe the government or if you've been sued, which is really considered almost like a government debt because now it's in the court system, in those cases they can garnish your money. Okay. Now the third way that you can get your money yanked out of your account without permission is through the situation where if you borrow where you bank. And a lot of times that's a strategy that we'll use to help us get approved, right? We got all our accounts, we've got our, our assets on one bank, so we're going to go to them because we're going to be more likely to be approved for a loan. So that's where we get our car loans, our mortgages, our credit cards. But the problem with that approach is theoretically, that may sound good, but legally they can't approve you because you bank with them. They can make it a contingency or a condition of the loan, but they can't approve you for the loan because you bank with them. Okay, but in the underwriting process, they can look into your checking account, and if they're on the fence as to whether or not they want to give you the money, well, that can tip you over on one side because they can see the assets and the accounts and your income and that kind of thing in the checking account. Okay, now you may be saying, well, yeah, they took the money out of my account, but I wasn't the one that borrowed the money. My spouse was the one that borrowed the money. How can they take my money? Right? My spouse got us into this. Why am I now having to bail us out? Okay, and that leads us into our first opportunity on how we can protect our accounts. So let's go back though, and let's start talking about the judgment. If you have a judgment and that attorney is now levying your account and pulling that money out of your account, I don't think I've ever had the case where if I've approached an attorney after the garnishment has started or is about to start, that they have not been willing to negotiate, right? That they, won't, in lieu of taking that money out of your account every month through a levy, that they aren't willing to negotiate a monthly payment. And as long as you're making those payments on time, I've never really had an attorney say, no, we're not going to do that. Okay, so a lot of times after the fact, or as you recognize that this is about to happen, if you simply open up some dialogue with that attorney, even the most A-type personality attorney, I've never really had a problem with that. Okay, so go back, talk to the attorney, and see what you all can work out, right? Because that's just an easy way to do it. Now, if you're going to approach your bank, okay, one way that you can protect yourself at the bank level is to be able to prove that all the money in the account belongs to you exclusively. Okay, so if it's a joint situation, right, and you're the one that didn't owe the money, you're not the debtor, right? Your spouse is, or the other joint account holder is the one that has the debt. If you can, through pay stubs, direct deposit slips, or an award letter for Social Security or disability, or however you get paid, you can paper trail and show how that money got into the account, and you can show what's yours versus what's the other joint owners on a pretty repetitive basis, then you can protect yourself that way and oftentimes retrieve your money back. All right, but you're going to have to be able to prove without a shadow of a doubt that the money that was in that joint account was yours, and of course that could be a little bit more difficult to do. All right, so that's where we go to our third option. And this option is not available in every state. There's only a certain handful of states that you can do this in. I think there's about 11. I think it's Kentucky, Mississippi, Missouri, Florida, New Jersey, Oklahoma, Wyoming, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Vermont, and Virginia. And I believe those are the only states, but you're going to want to check. And the way that you can protect yourself is if you're opening up a joint account with someone and there's the possibility that something like this may happen, how you title the account can make a difference, at least in the states that I mentioned. And instead of having the account as, say, a joint account or an individual account, right? What you want to title on the account is tenants by the entirety. Okay? By having that disclaimer on the signature line or in the titling of the account, right? What that means is that each owner of that asset, and this is usually done in real estate, but it's done in checking accounts as well. If you have that ownership title attached to it, that means each person owns everything that's in there in its entirety, right? So like in the example before, we says, well, we got to prove how much of the money that was deposited is yours versus how much is the other joint account holders, right? In this particular case, no matter who deposited the money, you each individually own 100% of it. And usually that means that you can't make an individual decision, but that's not really what this is about. This is about how do I protect the assets in that account. And in that way, by labeling the account in that way, you can prevent the levy and prevent them from taking that money out of your account. All right? So again, 3 ways you can do this. Talk to the attorney after the fact, work something out, and they will literally stop the levy and stop the garnishing out of the account and give you a payment plan. Again, be able to prove all the money that is deposited in the account, or at least the money that they took was physically your money based on the deposit history. And third, make sure that that account, if you're in one of those states, is titled in that way, and that will protect it from the get-go. Now, be warned, that also has to pass the muster of the intelligence level of the bank that you're with, right? You may find that you're going to have to remind them after the fact that, hey, you shouldn't have let this happen because of the way the account is titled, right? Because again, a levy on an account where they're about to take your money, banks are not allowed to tell you they're about to do it. They're not allowed to discuss it with you until after the fact. Okay, so a lot of times the teller or whomever may not be privy to the information or even educated about it. So you may have to go to a manager or something like that, or call us, and maybe we can have that discussion with that bank for you to kind of help you retrieve that money. Okay, so again, hope this information helps. If so, give us that thumbs up. Don't forget, subscribe and hit that button so that every Thursday you're informed. Share the information. If you know someone who's going through this dilemma, share that with them. Let them be educated so that they can protect themselves in the future. And if you've got comments or questions, put them below, and we'll be getting back to you as soon as we possibly can to kind of help fill you in on whatever questions you have. All right? And hopefully this information will help you make a choice, make a change. Delta.